regular class, I guess, is this way, but I think I've definitely been in class situations where it felt like there was one opinion being presented to me and I was sort of forced to accept it if I wanted to learn the right way. And so I think what I appreciate about this way is that, like, not only are you allowed to have your own opinion and defend it, you're also, like, it's not just the teacher's opinion, it's the teacher's opinion and your opinion and everyone else's opinion. And you even, it gives you the opportunity to also change your opinion, whereas before, or not before, but whereas in other situations you might have to either adapt another opinion to sort of like be able to do the best in the class, or you don't really get to talk about your own. So I think the most valuable thing for me was definitely getting to sort of develop your own opinion, your own voice in a class of other people.
I like how we're able to like be active in the simulations, and we're kind of put in the person's situation in that time period, for history especially, and yeah, because we get to learn what they're doing and feeling.
It's also very beneficial in an English classroom because, kind of playing along what Alex said, it's also very opinionated. Whereas if a teacher were to teach for the whole block, you're hearing their own opinion, whereas if you have students talk amongst themselves, they can speak about their own opinion about something that happened in a book, and that would thus lead to discussion amongst the students.
I remember in our history class, we did a project, and you divided your room based off what you believed, and you had a chance to persuade the opposing side to come to your team or stay. And I felt that was a unique way of learning how to express your opinion, because you had a chance to hear what everybody else said, change it, and it just developed in an opinionated setting.
And do you think you guys would all say that learning in this style created like a deeper sense of understanding?
Yeah. I think it depends on the subject matter. Like, this would be hard to teach math that way.
Exactly.
Or like physics that way. Because like you don't know what you're talking about until someone tells you. But stuff like history and English really benefit the student from talking this way, because
I think also like another huge aspect of it was not only like developing like our own ideas and figuring out what it means to us, and like that kind of sense of it, but also like we developed a skill not only of like how to have a conversation, but like how to learn on her own, like interpret a text on her own, figure out what something means to us. And it could be wrong, but it was this idea of like seeing something, figuring out what it meant to you, and then bringing it to a broader audience. So
yeah, personally, all this like discussions that we're doing, like it completely changed books for me, because I always thought like, okay, books, you either there's analysis, you get it or you don't. But ever since that, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I can make of the book what I want, and as long as I can go in and find something to prove my point, I'm right? That's what I love about books.
No, it's true. Like Jance and I were talking a few days ago kind of about the concept of learning to question, and that's kind of what the class is designed to do. It teaches you, you have an opinion, I have an opinion, but if they're both different, but like Elias said, if we can find evidence in the book that supports both of our opinions, we can both be right. But then there can be someone else who disproves both of our opinions by using similar or even different quotes in the book. So it's like the idea of, we've been taught where teachers speak at us and you take what they've told us and then you learn it. Like straightforward, like history this year, that's kind of like how it went, and it's fine. But like being able to have your own opinion or look for the evidence that could disprove your own opinion gives you a better understanding and brings the information, history, the reading more to life, and it makes it more related to you. Makes it more fun, to be honest.
This is kind of directed towards the middle schoolers. About like the simulations, like I don't know where you guys are coming from, because this is the first I thought it was English class that this was, but apparently you guys did this in history. Do you think that in the simulation, I know we've discussed that it makes it easier, but do you have a favorite simulation, or did something come up during the simulations that did you not think would come up, or did anything new come up in simulations that you think would not come up in a like typical classroom environment?
Can we define terms on what the simulation?
Well,
the
Oh, yeah,
simulation
I don't
actually
even-
was.
Well, today we actually did have a simulation, and it was about the Japanese-American trial. Basically, it was we all sat in a room, and there were judges. There was a judge, and then there were like the jury. It was like the whole courtroom.
Fact-finding mission
Yes.
on the Japanese internment camps.
Oh, okay. That's
So
cool.
it was we had to debate. We were put on the stand and asked questions about our positions, and you got all different point of views. Like you got a really strong nativist opinion, or you got somebody who was in the internment camp, or you got somebody who was observing at the camp, or a neighbor of the member who was sent to a camp. And you get to hear the opinions and develop your own opinion, and it was a really interesting simulation because you don't talk about necessarily this topic